It's Thursday, it's 4 o'clock, and you're watching Chelsea and Tony live. Today is an extra special show because we're going to be reviewing your best shot of 2019. We have no way to verify it was taken in 2019. We're also going to be talking about some news about the new Canon RF 70 to 200 millimeter lens. Focusing issues? That's what I read.
Yeah, and Nikon is shutting down like almost all their authorized repair facilities in the US. We'll talk about what that means.
Let's get depressed, but first, let's talk about our sponsor, Squarespace. Thanks for making this show possible, Squarespace. And you know what else they can make possible? A beautiful website or portfolio for you. And it's so easy to make, and I have a coupon code to save you money. That's right. Save you money. Go to squarespace.com/Chelsea, use the coupon code Chelsea, and you'll get 10% off. Also, you can submit your portfolio for review by going to sdp.io/link, and we can help you with that.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it in the middle of the show. Do you want to get right into the news?
Let's do the news first while people submit their photos.
Okay.
Wait.
You want to talk about the art and science?
Yes. Okay. We have a video series that we're very, very proud of called The Art and Science of Photography. And this is where Tony and I, we melded our minds. He tells you the science-y, technical stuff. I go into some artsy things about composition and other topics. And it's 20% off. Go to sdp.io/artscience and use the coupon code HOLIDAY2019. You can get this one for yourself and just stream it digitally. But if you want to give it as a gift, it also comes on an SD card, which is really cool because when they're done getting their videos, they can stick that in their camera.
Yeah, I think it's actually discounted in our store, and then you'll get an extra 20% off with Holiday 2019. So check it out. And if you're not happy with it, we'll give you your money back. But
yes.
Yeah, it goes deeper than anything.
But you have to fight us for it.
No, it's pretty easy. Not too many people ask for money back, though. Okay, let's go through the news, the hot topics. So Petapixel found some information on forums about people who have the new Canon 70 to 200 f2.8 RF lens and are experiencing focusing problems with it. And this is something that I have a ton of experience with because as a result of having tested just maybe more than 100 lenses in various controlled situations with different camera bodies, I have a lot of insight into the accuracy of different focusing. And so I kind of wanted to address it. First, let's show a picture from the user in the forum that has now become newsworthy. And what do you see when you look at this picture, Chels, as far as the focusing goes?
It looks like her eyelashes and mouth are in focus, but her actual irises are not.
Yeah. And if you close up, zoom right in, you see that too. And we've seen this before, right? This is exactly what we saw when we tested the A7R Mark IV. This is what we saw. This is what I saw when I tested the eye detect autofocus in the Nikon Z7. This is often how focusing works. It often isn't smart enough to grab the specific iris, but especially on mirrorless cameras, the focusing points can actually be quite big, and they'll often latch onto whatever the first thing is. Now, that doesn't completely summarize the problem that the users have seen because they've also set up very careful kind of studio situations to test whether or not it's front focusing, and they do seem to be finding that it is consistently front focusing. And maybe, probably, because my experience with this is that the Canon EOS R, the only camera body you'd probably be using with that particular expensive lens, it front focuses, especially in a lot of portrait situations. And I love the 85 millimeter f1.2. It's something I got for our videos, but also for just our own portrait use. And it's fantastic, but it pretty consistently focuses. Like, this is not something I shot for this. This is just a portrait fashion shoot that we did to show off our t-shirts, which you can also get at Northrup.photo. And most of the shots were front focused. What I did, I just gotten the lens in, so I was double checking it, and I was shooting, and I zoomed in to check the eye, and I was like, oh, it's front focusing. So I just thought, I know how to fix that. I put the camera into single autofocus mode, which tends to be more accurate. I put it into continuous shutter, and I would focus, and then I would hold down the shutter, and I would kind of lean in just slowly. And this is the technique that I've used for the last 15 years when I was shooting portraits with shallow depth of field, because I've never found a camera that does this accurately. If you're shooting tight headshots like the user is here, I've never found a camera that does this 100% accurately. The D850 in this situation was always getting about 50% in focus. And that's like, we said that was the best DSLR ever. And it has a great focusing system. About half of them would be in focus. So you have to kind of, you cannot trust these focusing systems. So I kind of wanted to, this is another example where it did nail focus. I just wanted to show like it could work. And my adjustments to my technique got photos that were like razor sharp, even wide open. But it's not as simple as just like hitting the focusing button and getting it.
But when we were testing the new Canon mirrorless bodies, we put our 500 millimeter lens, or we put their 500 millimeter lens on it, and we found that it was having a hard time focusing with a long lens. You don't think that could be something to do with it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. They're the Canon R bodies, the Nikon Z bodies, and like all the older Sony bodies too, not good with telephoto lenses, just not good. And I actually think that's why all the first lenses that they launched were wide angle or normal lenses. There were no telephoto lenses among them. And this is the first telephoto lens for the R mount. And so it's not a surprise to me that this is the first lens that's showing these types of problems. I don't think that's coincidental. I think it could have been a 75 to 300 and we would have seen, okay.
So I was kind of holding out hope that what we put on it, the adapter that we put on it to use the 500 millimeter was the problem.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there like trying to take pictures of birds that were still just standing in the grass, and like it was like hunting all over the place.
Yeah. And I want to point out we do have the latest firmware on it, and it's just not perfect. No camera's perfect.
It's kind of
But the Canon R bodies, the Nikon Z bodies, a lot of these mirrorless cameras just are worse than the previous generation SLRs, which people might be accustomed to using these with.
Yeah, you kind of have to adapt to the new system and its quirks. Its quirks and features, as your friend Doug would say.
And we talk to a lot of people who are having various problems, and the most common problem when people say I'm having a focusing problem and I talk to them, it's because they just got a new lens that does shallow depth of field and they haven't quite worked out the quirks. So maybe it is just a defect with the lens. Maybe it's something they can solve with a firmware update. But I would say I wasn't surprised by it. I was just like, yeah, that was pretty much what I would have expected. It's probably going to miss focus a bunch because I have experience with that body and it's the first telephoto lens. So I wanted to summarize it with some points. Like, all phase detect autofocusing systems are imperfect, even maybe especially on mirrorless cameras. On the D850, if I was shooting a studio setup, I would have to switch it to contrast-based focus. If I shot one shot with PDAF, one with contrast-based focus, the contrast-based focusing was always sharper, always more in focus. PDAF it's a close enough focusing algorithm. And so with shallow depth of field, you're going to see that. People get into micro adjustments. That is a spiral to hell that will ruin your entire life. No kidding. Like, we've seen this happen, right?
You
know who I'm talking
about. Micro adjustment people that make themselves insane. Mm-hmm. And every time they see you, they have an update on their micro adjusting. And you're just like, you need help.
I've talked to people who work in the service centers at camera manufacturers. And one guy said, the number one cause of focusing problems is micro adjustments. And the way they solve it is they tell the person to turn off the micro adjustments. You can't be if cameras are inconsistent, thus micro adjustments are not going to be effective because you're not going to be getting the same measurements every time. You'll see the flaws with fast telephoto and high-res cameras shooting up close with shallow depth of field. And soon we'll be recording and publishing a sharp portraits tutorial that will help you get sharp shots despite the fact that your gear is imperfect.
Yeah.
Because your gear is imperfect.
I remember when I first moved to like a really high megapixel camera, I was like, what's wrong? Like, why aren't these perfectly sharp? And it was just, I wasn't used to using a high-res camera yet.
Yeah, and the EOS R at 30 megapixels really pretty high sharp.
Whoa.
I know, I totally lost a word there.
It's okay. It's live. We forget things.
The big news this week has been Nikon killing its authorized repair program, which people are making a big deal about. Canon did this not a few years back, and it's also a big deal, but it wasn't the end of the world.
I think it's because people are talking about Nikon sales and how they've been declining, and maybe paired with this news, like, it makes people feel worried.
So the company that broke this news is iFixit, and they were a Nikon authorized repair program. And if you read the article that iFixit wrote about it, they bring up Nikon's financial troubles. And it almost to me felt like maybe they felt a little burned because they're obviously going to be losing revenue. They're no longer going to be able to do warranty repair or authorized repairs on used gear, probably. And so they're going to be losing money. And I don't necessarily think it's related to their financial problems. It could be totally coincidental. And Nikon, people asked them, they're not going to tell you anything useful, you know.
Oh.
I will say I've had authorized repair centers fix gray market Nikon gear for me by using a little trickery. Like they're not allowed to do that, but they would order the parts and say it was for a non-gray market lens and provide a different serial number and then like give.
Sneakery.
Yeah, and that's something that Nikon hates. So maybe they just want to lock that down a little bit. So they're going from 17 authorized U.S. repair stations to 2. So if you're one of those people who has been physically bringing in your lens to a repair shop and getting stuff done quickly, you might not be able to do that. But if you're like me, where you end up just mailing stuff off for warranty repair anyway, it's probably not going to change your life much. Okay. That's it. Let's look at some pictures.
Hey, I just wanted to ask Chris because he was really feeling the micro adjustment conversation. Chris, what are you feeling over there?
Yeah, I went down that spiral road to hell myself, and quickly grabbed onto the railing and held on tight. It's too inconsistent, and every time I do it, I'd get a different result. And I was like, I used devices, I used methods and different processes to do it, and I just couldn't get the same result every time I did it. And that just told me that it's an imperfect system.
That's the same experience I had with several different cameras, to the point where I was going to publish a whole video telling people how to do it. And I was just like, I just need to tell people not to do this. Like, just don't. It's not worth it.
I think we should tell our enemies how to do it and then laugh at night.
It is the white elephant of photography education. Okay, let's take a look at people's best pictures of 2019. This is from Natty. It's like an excellent food photo.
Like some steaming edamame.
Chelsea, steam, real or fake?
Real.
Okay.
Fake? Yeah, real.
Either way, it's beautiful. You get a pick. That's an awesome shot, a beautiful arrangement. I kind of wish I could see this. I just realized this is sugar or salt or something. It's probably salt because it's edamame. But I want to see a little more of that. So experiment with the depth of field. Set the camera up, shoot at f2.8, shoot at f4, f5.6. And I would bracket it because on the back screen, you cannot tell. The back screen is so small that stuff that's very blurry will actually seem sharp when printed large,
This really tells a story. Lynn is making dog cookies and dog has been alerted. Probably by, hey, Mom, you making my cookies? And he knows. And I just love the storytelling.
Yeah. We could certainly nitpick this technically, but the storytelling here overcomes everything. I'd probably just crop it to square and get rid of some of that extra space, but awesome picture.
When the story's that good, it's just like, who cares about the rest? Light pixel photography. This is beautiful. I love the sunburst. I really like your processing. You leaned into this gray, moody thing. Is this a little distorted, Tony? Like, is the building being pulled to the left, or am I?
Well, I was actually wondering that too. It feels off balance, right? I'm not sure if it actually is because you have that horizon in there. Oh, yeah. Maybe we can. Oh, yeah, but yeah, look at those lines compared to that.
What are you feeling, Justin?
I think Tony's leveled it a little better right now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's level according to the buildings.
I think yeah, but then the horizon, I don't know. Sometimes it's a tough call.
It could be lens distortion or something. Nonetheless, great shot. I know you must have had to really crank up those shadows because you're shooting into the sun, which means the foreground is just...
Pick. Okay, clearly we have a man with some amazing hair. I do love this really dramatic side lighting. I love this like almost monochrome look. It's a little imbalanced. And also, he's kind of got a luxury style vibe and then more like a casual shoe. So maybe I just cut him off at that point. I like the watch. Is he holding the watch?
So I see you're slamming his Crocs.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's got his phone in his other hand too.
Wait, did he take this in a mirror with that phone? No, he took it with...
I know you didn't want me to raise the shadows. I'm sorry. I couldn't see the phone, so I guess that didn't bother me. But I think it's an excellent shot, an excellent start with low-key photography. Mind the edges of the frame also. The way this foot is cropped is a little bit awkward.
I really like that this light on his arm leads you down to his watch.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd even try it in black and white. I don't know, but I like it. Damn it, Karen. You never listened to me, by Rick Austin.
Okay, a little play on words there.
You know how I love plays on words, especially when they make you sad. I'm going to just increase the contrast here, Rick, so that, we get more subject separation. I'm going to press Y so you can see the before and after. And that's called teamwork, baby.
Park rangers hate Karens.
Yes.
They're
consider
a fun
them
too.
litter. And I kind of don't blame them. Once I saw it from their point of view, I was like, my friend Stephanie, I was like, you know what, Stephanie, you're talking some sense here. You can't just go around stacking rocks like you own the place.
Karen.
Ian Brandaberry. Good name, good picture.
I don't like that the highlights are brought down. Don't you want to just go ahead and make those whites white?
Sure.
Yeah. I think that's what is compelling about the shot, is the kind of...
Nice framing. Nice tones. Ulf person. Okay. I think maybe the colors are a little off here.
I just thought this would be such a great spot for a portrait. I like that it's wet. It makes everything kind of shiny, but I just want to see somebody walking up there, or just a little extra focal point. I'm sorry, I just hit a key. And
why? How could you?
Sometimes my hand just twitches.
Yeah, it's pretty sensitive over here. Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, enchanting serenity. I do think that...
What place is this?
Heaven.
That's fantastic, with the light streaming through the trees, and I like the fencing in the foreground. But the animals, it's the focal point that really makes this. I would spend 2 hours in post-processing on this. I would clean up these tree branches that you see in the water. I think the shot's worth it. It's a really good shot. It just needs some post-processing. Go ahead and make it perfect. Take out all those random stray branches. It'll take you a long time. Maybe even take out the bull or whatever that's facing to the right, because that guy's an idiot. He's going the wrong way.
Dumb bull.
Do you see the little elf on the fence?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I did not see that, Justin, but good eye. You found the elf on the shelf.
His whole life has been leading to this moment.
This is what they trained me for.
I love these cedar waxwing. They're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at that little beautiful pop of orange. I've never seen so many together at once. Quite frankly, Kathleen, it's kind of frightening.
Yeah.
What are they planning?
I'm going to give it a pick. That's really cool. 1/4000 froze their motion so much that they look weird. They're just floating
I know, I like
up there.
it. There's something weird about it, and I like it.
Good shot, Kathleen.
Is that a multiple exposure?
Oh, is it? Oh, that's a good...
It almost looks like the one on the left is walking down and the one on the right is either taking off or landing.
Oh, those could be the same birds.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It might not be. I'm just saying that it's a great shot.
Will we ever know?
Yeah.
That's a question for Kathleen, for sure.
We'll see if she's here.
Kathleen, talk to us.
She shoot it through a fence?
Whoa. This is so cool, Kristen.
Yeah.
I love the framing. It's really interesting. It almost feels like a sci-fi film.
Mm-hmm.
This person's getting sucked into space. Should we lean into it and go a little extra with the processing? Because it's like...
Definitely.
Ooh, look at that one. This is called Before Dawn.
You can get those presets at northrup.photo, by the way. Kirsten was brave with the composition.
Yeah.
She ignored this subject of the welder there, and she made the composition around this big circle in the middle. And that means that the composition overall is a little unbalanced, but it totally works here.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Oh, I like that last one. Yeah.
You liked this one?
Yeah, I like that.
You like it gritty. Okay. Well, good job, Kristen. Dylan, this is so beautiful. I love that you found something to put in the foreground. It tells me a bit of a story, because this seems really remote, but I know people are here. really gorgeous colors. They're not overdone. It still seems natural, really beautiful and peaceful.
Yeah, you should print this and put it on your wall.
Yeah, you should.
Look at it every day.
You should
It's a
print
great
this.
shot.
I'm going to press
Congrats.
Alt and just look at the white point a little bit more. I wouldn't be afraid to blow that out a little bit. Beautiful. Zach. Look at this guy. A fierce fisherman. I like the colors. I think it's a little bit punched up for my taste.
Yeah, I was going to suggest backing it down a little bit. It's easy to get into that rat hole of cranking up the saturation. It always looks a little better.
Yeah, and then you're like, whoa, if this looks better, how's this going to look?
Oh,
Bam.
this is such a great spot, Frank. Like, definitely keep coming back to this spot. I like the simple composition. It looks like it could be a wallpaper on your phone. I also think it would be a good location for different types of photo shoots. Definitely if you have a friend who wants to photograph their classic car in exchange for a 6-pack, like, bring them here.
Calling back to our video.
What?
I think if you press, I think the exposure could be brought up a little bit.
Yeah. Also, it looks like there's some weird artifact in the cloud there. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just not you, Chelsea, but Frank can take that on his own time.
Love it.
Whoa, my God. Oh,
jeez.
my God. I've never seen. Is this how it goes down in Australia?
Whoa.
I'm scarred for life.
I saw the thumbnail and I just didn't know.
I think that they're checking its temperature. Like, what was the temperature where you decided to do that?
I like the gin.
Beef eater, yeah.
Let's peek in the shadows. Make sure this kid's okay. This is a really interesting idea.
Okay.
Is this sausage?
I'm gonna give you a pick. It's a compelling shot. I've never seen anything like it.
This. We've looked at so many photos and never have I seen a meat teddy bear. Just not even in life.
You know how you can undo stuff on computers? Can I undo seeing that? I don't know. Command Control Z or something.
Blunt
undo
force
life
trauma.
Yeah.
Wrenching.
This is adorable. It's the backlighting, right? Giving it that glow.
Fluffy little look.
Beautiful shot. And still like a little bit of catchlight in the eyes. I think we had maybe an overcast sky. Perfect. You get a pick, Steve. Oh my God.
What does he have?
You get a pick too. Yeah. Yeah, he's got kind of a silly expression.
He has something in his mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, first of all, it's a beautiful location. Everything's in focus. Really nice composition. And then you have an interesting expression. This is like a 5-star photo. I love it. Oops. Wow, Patrick. I've taken many pictures of these guys, and I know this is amazing.
Yeah, this has been a challenge I've taken on for years to just get one of these guys in focus. Actually, the A9 is probably the camera to do it. Great work. And the fact that they're sort of arranged nicely like that, I bet you, I mean, I'd be curious how many pictures Patrick took, because he's shooting with a 20 frames per second camera. And to get a shot of these fast little bastards, I bet Patrick took 10,000 pictures to get this. How many do you think that would take?
It would take a lot.
Yeah.
And they're erratic too. They fly like a butterfly. They're all over the place. That's a bird with no chill, and you did it. You should get more than 5 stars in a pick.
Yeah, that was a lot of work.
Victor, this is a beautiful place.
Yeah, it is. I'm wishing for a black point in the picture, though.
Yeah, I think it needs some drama, too.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, you know, you can add a little drama. Don't be afraid of drama. Don't be afraid of it. So just some more contrast, maybe a little more with the processing. I think, you know what's really difficult, actually? This is a point I'd like to make. If you're taking a landscape, everything in the shadows might be way cooler. So in the foreground, like you have much warmer light, and then this is much cooler and darker. And you can always selectively edit that. I mean, you can take an adjustment brush. I'm going to do a terrible job because I don't want to spend too much time. But you can select that area and then, no, not eye whites. Why does it always assume? And then you can warm it up selectively or change the color or do whatever you need to do.
Yeah. Dehaze might help with that
Oh,
automatically too. But
yeah. Did you hear Pickle?
Yeah.
She
always.
said, Okay. Wow. This is something.
Yeah, this is a nice shot. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's get
Uh-oh.
No. Stop.
I like when things get really out of control.
I just wanted to zoom in here.
Chris, do you have any questions or comments from the peeps?
Yeah, I got some good questions this week. Yeah. First off, let's see. How would you choose your best photo? Critical review, what you like the best, reviews, your audience. How do you go through choosing your best picture?
That's a really good question. I usually choose ones that I like, and then I'll post them on social media and see if other people respond to them to make sure I'm not totally crazy, because that does happen. And then I asked Tony for his honest opinion, and I trust his opinion. And he tells me the
Honest
truth.
feedback. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do actually weigh in feedback from social media. Obviously
Yeah.
not exclusively how many Instagram likes I get, since that's always going to be like some ridiculous selfie I took. But that is a factor because I want to take pictures that other people like, not just for my own gratification.
Yeah, but also sometimes how you were feeling in the moment can color how good the photo is artistically. So that feedback can be helpful. What else do you have, Chris?
Yeah, another question. When you're planning to go on a photo shoot, do you use certain apps for planning?
Yeah, it depends on the photo shoot. So if we're going to do a landscape photo, then we'll use like Sunseeker or the photographer's ephemeris and find out where the sun or the moon or the stars, whatever we need, where those are going to be. We have a star app so that we know where the Milky Way is. If I'm doing a portrait or fashion shoot, I use Pinterest and just pin a bunch of ideas that I like. And that can be color schemes. Like sometimes I remember once I really loved this model that was wearing red on a very traditional gray background. And so I just pinned that. Yeah.
We need to do a dedicated video for this. We'll also use Google Earth on the desktop. The 3D modeling allows you to specifically put the sun where it's going to be at a certain time of day. And that's really powerful. I did a dedicated video for that. We've also done like 3D virtual studios, which allow you to set up lighting and really pose people as you prep for a portrait or commercial shoot. And that can be really powerful stuff. So there's a lot of apps that really matter. Let's take a look at Richard Pocket's macro photo of a butterfly, which is just gorgeous in its symmetry, right? It's like perfect.
Yeah, it is.
Even as you zoom in, well, that's intense zoom, but let's get back to 1:1.
Let's get back to a normal
4:1. Sorry.
I did 4:1. I got out of control.
I'm going to give you a pick. I would selectively go in and reduce the noise because there's no need to see any of the grain in the background.
Well, you have you actually have a preset for this, Tony.
Yes, if you get our technical and creative presets, there's a preset.
So you have smart denoise, and then you have
the green background.
Where's the green? Oh, green background. So we could do 50%. And then let's press Y so you can see. So you can see the difference. It smooths it out.
Yeah, and it can make it much better in just a few clicks. So check it out at Northrup.photo. You can use that holiday 2019 coupon too.
I would just take out this little silky bit.
I don't know that I agree. I kind of liked it. It was like a little bit of asymmetry in this otherwise symmetrical photo. And I don't know, it's one of those like flaws that...
We can fight about it later.
I want to take a look at one more photo before we leave. Which one of these really catches your eye? Before we re-import. Before we re-import.
I was like, where are we going? Grab the go bag. That pumpkin spice looking one.
This one? 54?
No. Excuse me. I'll take the wheel.
Okay. Oh, what a gorgeous still life.
Isn't that beautiful? There's some baby's breath, cinnamon. It looks so cozy. I just want to be there snuggled up reading a book.
Yeah,
you set
amazing
a whole mood. It's not just a good photo. You set a mood, and I want to be there. And the processing matches it. Like you made it kind of matte and soft and beautiful.
I cannot think of a single thing to complain about, and that's very unlike me.
Yeah, that's our job.
A really good job. Okay, I'm going to import some more photos while we take a look at portfolio.
Chris.
Oh no. Chris, are you still screening photos? Because I don't see anything new
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah.
Oh
They're still
no.
coming in.
They're not syncing.
Uh-oh. Issues. Well,
Issues.
I can sync a question. Chris, do you have any?
Yeah. Here's a question for you. When you, let's see, well, they're talking about shooting Milky Ways.
Yes.
And can you do it with a kit lens and an APS-C camera? Like a 50 millimeter 1.8 and a D3400. Is that possible, or do you need specialized gear to do Milky Way photography?
I mean, if you have really good sharp glass, your photos are going to come out better. But yeah, you can do it. I think that's a good place to start. Don't let it hold you back.
Yeah, you just have
You're
to
going to get good
there,
photos, and composition is going to be a really important part of it.
If you did use expensive glass, you'd get cleaner images. You'll just get less noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest thing is get to a darker sky area.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you can't, it's tough to do in your backyard.
True, if there's light pollution. And speaking of, there's a website or app for that where you can see where there's the most and least light pollution, and then you can travel to that location. And sometimes it's just an hour away. Or if you're lucky, your backyard. What else do you have, Chris?
Okay, and is there a limit? Do you know? Is there a limit in Photoshop when you're trying to upscale images beyond like a 30 by 40? Is there some trick to getting it past that size?
Do
you know?
I have never run into that issue. I mean, you could just scale it to 30 by 40 and increase the DPI if you needed to. You know, have a 30 by 40 at 600 DPI instead of 60 by 80 at 300 DPI, and I think the final output would be identical. Is there something I'm missing there, Chris? Is there more intricacy?
He was saying he was trying to do 30 by 40 with 300 DPI, and he couldn't get past that. And I didn't know if that maybe it was a memory limitation or something built into Photoshop.
Yeah, I don't know either. Maybe it's just a limitation of file sizes. Sorry, I guess I don't know the answer, nor do I understand what the problem is. Let's take a look at his Squarespace portfolio.
Okay, well, this one's definitely drawing me in. Kevin Ryan, you put some moving images in your portfolio, and wow, your work is beautiful and it's captivating, and I just want to sit here and watch it. It's so nice. And I'm thinking, I can hire this guy? Of course I'd like to do that. Let me look at film.
I have never seen that in one of these Squarespace portfolios before, and it immediately makes me want to do that with my own portfolio. That opening page was awesome. I usually don't like opening pages, but the way you used video was so compelling. Like, Kevin, awesome. That totally drew us in.
Okay, so you have some examples of your video.
Yeah, we talk a lot about how Squarespace is useful for photography portfolios, but so many people are mixed media hybrid shooters like we are, and Squarespace is also fantastic at that.
I like your style. I like that it's consistent. You've mixed in enough models where it doesn't feel too repetitive. And you seem very hireable. This is the type of work people would want to get done. You've separated things pretty intelligently. Like, you have photography, portraits, weddings. So I know exactly what you do. Again, not too many. I see that, like, maybe you've only done one wedding, but you did a very good job. So that's great. And you didn't put too many pictures. Let's see, learn about you. I see you doing what you love. You look very professional here. Wish I could see a little more of your face. So maybe like just a headshot and this photo as well would be really cool.
Yeah, and I don't actually know how to contact you based on this.
Here,
it's on a separate page. Yeah. Okay. I always suggest people just combine the about and contact page.
So there's his email. Where are you located?
Yeah, that's, if people are going to hire you, they do need to know where you are. So that's a good thing to put in there. This is great.
Yeah, this is really good.
What can I say to suggest how we improve it? Pricing page, combine the about and contact page. Tell us where you are. This is great, though.
Yeah, you have camera technician. And you have your resume, so that's really good. Yeah, I think it looks great. Very professional.
Yeah, this feels like a hire me page.
Yeah.
Maybe promote this to a top level menu. Like combine about and contact us and then make this, but also put your information for shooting stills as well as camera technician services. Don't bury it under the film submenu. We never would have found it. And I don't feel like anybody needs to get back to the home page, so you can eliminate this home menu here. Let's see what Kevin had to say about Squarespace.
Squarespace has made it easy to make a clean, simple website where my clients can view my content in a professional way. Thank you, Squarespace. And it does look very professional. It's simple. It's clean. The design is not taking away from your work, which is the most important thing. Really well done. If you want your own Squarespace portfolio like Kevin has, you can go to squarespace.com/Chelsea and get 10% off with the coupon code Chelsea. You can also just try it for 14 days for free. You don't need a credit card. You don't have to remember to cancel. Just try it out and see if you like it. And if anything, it's a good exercise to see how your work actually looks once it's compiled into a collection. And that can be really important.
Thanks, Squarespace. I am going to try to re-import these, and I might have to do it manually, but why don't we take a minute and look at the presents that Chris got us? I'm excited.
Oh, Chris sent us a box of something, and we didn't open it yet.
Yeah. One is for you, one's for me,
Did
and
you
one's
ask
for
if
Justin,
it's
too.
okay? What if this is something
It's okay.
No, it's all right.
so personal?
I just thought it would be exciting.
This one's for Justin. Oh. Okay. This is this is a brownie camera. Is that the one for me, Chris?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's awesome. Justin, do you want to know what yours is?
Sure.
Okay. I'm trying to take everything out, but this is a very small space.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, so the Cine Kodak motion picture camera. Look at this, Justin.
Wow.
We actually have it here. So.
And it still has film in it.
What? Really?
No way.
Whoa, look at
Yeah.
this, Justin.
Chris, that's amazing.
I'll show you.
Oh my God, what are you going to find on that film, I wonder?
That is
That is
so
so
cool.
That is so cool. Where'd you
Oh,
find
wow,
this?
that's beautiful.
1937.
Whoa.
1937.
What a cool idea.
Chris, that's so generous. Thank you. That's
You're
very
welcome.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
that's
very nice.
awesome.
Would you mind putting this down there? Because I don't want to
sure.
hurt it, but I can't get it in quickly enough. And then, Tony, what about you? Okay. Ooh. A Kodak camera.
Oh, good.
Why does it say Pony Roundup? Is that specifically for Tony?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. The Kodak Pony.
Oh.
Pony 135 camera. These are so cool. Thank you so much, Chris. And this one
Anybody
has...
seeing a theme there?
Huh?
Anybody seeing a theme?
Oh, are they all Kodak?
Yep. Yeah.
Yes. It's from a gentleman that collected old Kodak cameras, and I was able to score a bunch of them off of them, and I knew some people that might appreciate them.
All right, thank you so much.
That is so nice. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's so sweet of you. I'm excited. I want to see mine. I like mine the best. Look at it.
Wow.
Oh, that is beautiful.
That
I love
is
the Art
so
Deco
nice.
styling
Yeah,
on
I
the
like the
front. That is
deco.
so cool.
Wow.
That's really cool.
That is cool. The mechanics of it are fascinating, Tony. You'll love it.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You bet.
I love all the surprises. So exciting. Oh, Chris, do you have any questions or comments for us?
Are there any questions? Good question. Yes. Would you guys ever do a podcast on Panasonic Lumix?
Yeah, we would absolutely do that. That's a good idea.
Oh, like a history podcast?
Yeah.
That's a
Wait,
good
did we
question.
do one?
Well, we researched it and we didn't actually find like a ton of meaningful history because it's an electronics company and they haven't been making cameras for all that long. So they just didn't go back that far.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
we do is we research a lot of different things, and if we can't find a lot of interesting stories or information. We kind of push it to the back burner. Maybe we'll use that information and we'll like mix it in with another topic.
Yeah, or maybe people have interesting history about Panasonic that we don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, did you get some photos imported?
I'm not into Lightroom, so we're going to have to browse through them.
Okay.
It's the last show of the year, so of course this would be the time that stuff would break, but
Sure.
we can still look at them. This is from Felipe Pimenta, and this is a gorgeous landscape, right?
Yeah, really beautiful.
I love the sweeping views. I think this would only work in a big print because I think the detail here looks like there's like a little sort of relic of a civilization down here. Maybe the horizon needs to be leveled. I know my panoramas are always off level.
I was going to say, with panoramas, it can be difficult.
Good job, Felipe.
Oh my goodness.
This is gorgeous.
This is beautiful. It looks like you cleaned up the background and you got the snail a little bit.
Right here?
Yeah, so you have to be careful with the selection, Lynn, but the photo is amazing.
Yeah, I would definitely give you a pick for that.
If we could, we would.
This is from Mimi.
Mimi.
This is a super wide angle shot, and it's very cool with the buildings, but I just wish there was something in the foreground. With wide angle,
even if
it
the
really
guy
helps to get somebody close.
Was closer, yeah. I love the colors and the classic car.
But the modern car on the right is totally throwing me off. You know, fog plan. Go here when it's foggy. It'll hide the stuff in the background. Maybe even at night.
Yeah, if it's foggy, though, you might lose the intensity of the colors. But worth a try.
This feels like maybe it's a drone shot.
I think with drone shots, too, you still have to think about the composition. And it seems a little flat.
Yeah, I think it's a cool subject, but okay. This is all about the detail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's with the Canon MPE 65 millimeter. It's like a 1 to 5x, and he says this is on 5x, and that's intense amounts of detail. This must be focus stacking too, because there's way too much depth of field.
Wow.
Good job.
Great, and
Beautiful
great color contrast. Whoa, I like when squirrels do this. He's like, do you have peanuts? I like the styling here. Really nice. It looks like it could be a wedding day photo, and if that's what it is, this is great because it's really well done, but still just looks good on its own, even if it's not for a wedding client. Wow. Now this is where those star tracker apps come in handy because this is a great composition. Finding the position of the Milky Way can be very important. You have you got really low, so you have grass in the foreground, so it makes everything look like bigger and more magical when you feel like you have this ant's point of view.
Awesome shot, Harrison.
Oh.
And in the rain too.
And I like that you added some processing to give it some style.
Sorry, this is our
What?
31 minutes left, so that could be.
This dog has a job. I love that. This is a beautiful Vizsla. He's doing his job. He got a duck. Just beautiful colors and tones, great composition. Like, amazing. 5 stars, definitely.
Yeah, that's a pick. Awesome shot. This feels like...
This is a little unbalanced, but I love the reflections and that you got some stars in there.
Yeah, very clean shot. Good shot. Good job, Joe. I
wish I like a lot of the things here. I just wish we got a little more of an expression or a story from her.
Yeah, I feel like technically the photo is great. The
Yeah.
blur is great. The lighting on her face is great. But it's just weird that she's looking off camera and yeah.
We don't know really at what. Like, her expression is, a little flat, so we don't know what she's doing. But like Tony said, like, the background blur is really pleasing. So much is working. This is interesting. This feels like it was shot for an ad or something.
Yeah, I can make a couple of suggestions. I wish the background had more contrast because we want her skin and hair color to pop, but the background's almost the same color, so it kind of disappears. I think I'd also like to see a little bit more of her arm. It's it almost makes it look bigger than it is because it's cropped into her arm, so we don't see that other side of it. Just some things to think about. Great pose and light. This got a little posterized for some reason.
This great colors. I love the composition, but something happened. It's like, I like that you put a person in the frame so that we could get a sense of scale. Definitely anchored the shot.
Yeah, and the subject separation, they put them in front of the white waterfall so they stand out. I wish maybe if you could have gotten closer and used a wider angle lens, we could have eliminated some of the distractions like the tree in the foreground. Maybe just try to simplify the composition a little bit. Okay. Gorgeous shot. I love the lighting here. The pose with the step is just perfect.
Yes, I like that he's in action a little bit so we know he's walking over to the window. We always talk about storytelling. It doesn't have to be a complicated story. I just think he's going to go walk over to the window and look out. And that's enough. You captured a moment. It's really beautiful.
If you're into post-processing, I might consider taking the whole window super bright. Just blowing it out.
Oh.
So old type scene processed in an old way. You know, they've added vignetting and sort of removed the blues from the photos so it looks faded. But at the same time, like my eye doesn't rest anywhere. There's no one particular story with it.
Yeah, so maybe get something in the foreground that's interesting, and then all the other stuff in the background is just showing like, hey, there's more of this. And then there's a place for the viewer's eye to rest. Well, this is exciting.
Holy crap. Yeah, this is an awesome car shot. Yeah. The car is so razor sharp for having such a long shutter speed. Even the background is blurred and the smoke that you got coming off of it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
definitely
amazing.
Get a pick. Great shot. Get that cursor off the screen.
Beautiful location. I like this Milky Way shot. How it's leading down to the island. You got some cool stuff in the foreground. Really beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous.
All right.
I want the boat to be more prominent in the foreground. It feels very far away.
Okay.
Oh, this is a gorgeous scene.
Yeah, really beautiful. I think you can even bring up the exposure in the foreground more because the brightest part of the photo is the background, that little piece of land there. And that might balance it a little better.
Watch the processing of the sky against the trees. You need to use a big graduated filter here because see how I can see what the sky really looked like between the leaves? You're never going to get that to blend correctly. So big graduated filter. stp.io/no fringe, I think.
No fringe.
Beautiful light on this.
Yeah, really beautiful. Whoa, is she?
Yeah, she is. Okay, I appreciate that.
Right, I like that. Sometimes you just have to wait till the light is right, and maybe a little earlier you would have had more light on the side of the building to give it more depth. But I like the reflection.
Yeah,
definitely a good
sky
moment.
And cloud. I like the duck in the foreground.
I love the majestic pigeon here.
Yeah, good foreground subject.
Oh my God.
This picture is
This
so
is a
beautiful.
tree dumpling for sure.
You get a pick. You could definitely sell this print. Remove those stray branches and apply some noise reduction to that background to make it smoother because there's a lot of noise, as there always is in the background. But fantastic shot. Perfect exposure. Would have been easy to blow out those highlights. Okay, I think Chicago. Is that right? Yeah. Great foreground subject. Beautiful sky. Right during the blue hour. Perfect timing. Nicely done.
Wow. Beautiful. Sharp. I would just play with the colors a little bit. He looks a little green. Whoa, I like that you put some foreground into this photo. Really beautiful composition.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you stumbled across it, right?
Yeah.
All right. This is pretty
like
cool
the
timing
action.
with the cormorant. But
Wish we could see the info. It looks a
I wonder
little...
if it's just heavily cropped. Maybe it's like weirdly smoothed out. This reminds me of Puerto Rico.
Wow.
Oh, this is perfect.
All right, we're trailing off. Let's see if Chris has any more questions or comments for us. Whoa, that's a great picture.
FAL, awesome shot. Yeah, that gets a pick.
Chris, what happened?
They turned out the lights on me.
Who did?
I'm at my office and the lights went out. Anyway.
Oh, no. This is a weird show.
Have you ever tried doing deep sky astrophotography, like telescope photography?
No,
I have not.
I haven't.
No.
No.
I've always been curious about it. Sorry.
It looks really difficult.
Yeah.
It is.
Expensive.
That's one where the right equipment really pays off.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you need it because you need something that's going to adjust
A
for
tracker, yeah, you can get those trackers for a
yeah,
couple
the
$100. Yeah.
No, we haven't tried that, but that's something I would like to try with somebody that has the equipment already. Just go
Yeah.
out and have somebody show us how to
Exactly.
use it. That'd be cool. Any other questions, Chris?
That's all we've got at the moment.
Wow. Dang.
We burned through all the questions.
Well, let's
Dang.
take a look at another panning shot by John Pegram. Now, this is not perfectly sharp, but panning shots rarely are, especially like the motorcycle's got a big old engine in it. The whole thing is shaking around. So you get to a point where like, this sharp is sharp enough.
Yeah.
And the effect is there. Awesome job.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
talk about finding a good foreground subject for your moon shot.
Yeah. Wish I had that.
Gorgeous, well balanced, nicely done.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, this is so spooky. Dang, Amy. I like it. Imagine if you rode into a field and then found a baby head in your boat. Like, tragic story.
Yeah, very cool fine art shot.
Yes.
You get a pick.
Absolutely.
Okay, we got this dude. The rain here makes it, right? Just
Yeah.
makes it that little bit more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe raise the highlights some, just brighten it up a little bit.
Wow. This was a good opportunity to use a long exposure, and it has a very ghostly look, Gary. This is definitely an amazing picture.
Great job. Best shot
Whoa,
for
this is a
2019.
How do you display your photos? I put mine on the floor. We usually frame ours and put them on the wall, but if this works for you, I support you.
Is this all from 2019, Roger? You have been busy.
He's been very busy.
Okay, well, let's critique each photo.
Okay, let's start. Oh boy.
That's the male noise
This is
here.
our lives. This is a great environmental portrait. Really good.
Yeah, I really love this shot. I would definitely give it a pick. I don't even know why. I can't pinpoint it, but it's awesome.
Because it feels real. I feel like this guy owns the shop or something, and
It's
he's
the
an
cat,
interesting
too.
character. The cat, yeah. They're definitely a buddy cop type of team.
They're going to be barking for like
This
4
is-
minutes. There's no stopping them.
No.
So, sorry. Good shot. I wish there was something a little more in the foreground, but it's very pretty. And don't be afraid to go longer with the shutter, like 10 seconds. Oh my goodness.
I just can't believe it's intensifying.
This is adorable.
It's
And
really,
you got
really cute.
so close. Very cute picture. Play with the noise reduction in the out of focus parts of the frame. This had a confusing perspective for me, almost like an Escher style painting. I
Yeah,
think
like,
it's
is it
an
up or
interesting
down?
study.
Yeah. You took textures and light and otherwise, like a subject anyone would walk past, and you use the texture and the light to get a really beautiful picture, and you composed it nicely. I like it. It's very interesting. Oh my gosh. Oh, this must be the same person. It's another Vishla.
Oh, yeah, probably can't be coincidental.
Wonderful.
Aloe feeding from bluebirds, very cool.
You cut off the tail a little bit.
Yeah,
And so you either want to do that more deliberately or not cut it off. And in our art and science series that we have for sale, we have a whole video on that, on how to look for the edges of the frame. And it's called Belts, the Belts video. And we were talking about it today. It's what, 20% off today?
yeah. Holiday 2019. You can use
Yeah.
that coupon code at Northrup.photo.
So you can
off of
see
any-
here, Justin's playing the footage, and we go to all different locations, and we teach the art and science photography. That video is about perspective. That was a fun one to shoot. So if you're interested in that, you can get 20% off of the already discounted price. And it also comes on an SD card if you would like, if you want to give it as a gift. It's just a cool way to package videos so you can reuse the SD card. Whoa, that was interesting.
I'm so confused by this.
Is that a...
I think I'd be upset. It's so cool looking though.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of fascinated by the arrangement of lines.
I like it.
Lynn, I like that
It
shot.
says Lynn again. Lynn, you did it again. We like it. Okay.
Is this like a Pets full shot? You see the crazy circular, like bokeh, like
Yeah.
it's twisting almost. Oh, it's a Lynn again. Okay.
Whoa, this is beautiful, and I love the colors. I can see that you kind of played around with the toning of the greens. It's perfectly in focus. You've got the wings in a really pleasing position. Definitely a 5-star photo. Really beautiful. And you didn't clip anything. The whole owl's in there.
Yeah, you can
Wonderful.
be really proud of that. Great shot.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, it really is. Nice and close, really tight. You're
A lot
right
of
at the edge of
drama.
the ring.
I like the
Great
guy in the
times, yeah.
background, how he's watching. Even they both find it interesting, and it makes me look at it again. Like Timothy, amazing, 5 stars. Something I say now because I can't just press a key.
Interesting shot. I like the flaring here. I like the wet and reflective ground. I think after rain is the right time to go into the cities with shot.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah,
is
this
this
is-
your fog plan? This is actually so scary to me.
Oh, you have that thing where you're afraid of the underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I just feel like
great
something
over under shot.
is going to come up, and it's beautiful, beautiful toning, really interesting perspective. Oh, that's beautiful.
I don't
Wish
know
I
why
could
it's
just
way
see her
up there.
face a little. I'm just going to breeze through now because we don't have much time.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do the speed thing.
Whoa.
Whoa, Michael, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
That's yeah.
We did it.
I think.
Oh, no, we didn't. Oh, this kid's mad.
Gorgeous shot. Maybe
Yeah.
too much on the contrast.
Then-
I saw a whole article about this. She's wearing her smartwatch with her wedding dress.
Yeah.
And people complain, but the people are like, I have a terrible tan line. I can't take off my watch. And I relate to that because I'm in the same situation. So what do? I guess you get like a big fat bracelet or something.
Yeah, I mean, you could get if she wants to wear that, that's her choice.
Yeah.
First of all. But if you're worried about remedying that problem, you could just put a bracelet on. Okay. Beautiful colors.
Yeah, great shot.
You guys, your best photos of the year are truly amazing. You should be very proud of yourselves. Okay, you got your Insta snuck in there. That was kind of interesting.
Where's she looking though?
I don't know. Lot going right. I'd like to see a little more expression in her eyes, but that's not totally on you.
Oh, this is a great composition. Oh, wow. Yeah,
So
this is
cute.
gorgeous. One of the best shots we've seen tonight. Nicely done.
Ooh, I love this. Wow.
Yeah, really interesting.
A lot of wow shots tonight. Really nice light.
Oh, good shot.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a question. I liked that portrait.
Yeah, I like this one a lot too. It's good to revisit.
I think you softened him a little too much.
Yeah.
It's okay to let people have a little texture. Chris, did you get a question?
Yes, I have no idea about this. Do you think it's possible to express a full range of emotion in a still image? Is it worth pursuing conveying emotion with images? Is photography reliant on emotion?
What?
That's
I
from
mean-
Sam Gordon.
I don't know that I know the answer to this. It's definitely emotion is really key to photography, and it's something people should work on before. We've done emotion as a theme because we specifically wanted people to go out and work on capturing emotion. And when you look at the most powerful shots of all time, that's like one thing that a lot of them have in common is emotion. So yeah, definitely think about that. I don't know if you can show a full range of emotions in one shot, but if you did, it would probably be like Renaissance level art. So definitely that's a good goal to work
don't
towards.
you remember that photo? And it was like a person falling in the crosswalk and
Oh,
then a
yeah.
police officer arresting
That's
them.
like New
and-
Year's
That's why I
Eve
said
in London or
Renaissance. Yeah, I
something.
definitely
Yeah.
thought of that.
And everyone said it was like Renaissance art because there was this whole crazy story. Like, it's definitely possible. And that was not technically a good picture. And everyone loved it because of all of the stories going on and all of the emotions. That's what people like. That's the point, right? What's the point of documenting if you're not going to feel anything about it?
Well, think about that as you're taking pictures during this holiday season.
Yes.
And thanks so much for joining us throughout 2019. I guess we'll make this photo from our photography our last photo of the year.
I like it. It's really good.
We'll be publishing more videos for 2019, but this is definitely our last live show. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we actually hadn't told anyone that. We think this is going to be our last live show.
Well, I just meant for 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You're saying we might do another live show this year.
yeah, we might do another one next week.
Oh, okay. My bad. Ignore me.
Okay, so Also, thank you, Squarespace, for making this episode possible. If you liked that portfolio you saw in the middle of the show, like, you can make your own. You can do it for free. No credit card needed. Go to squarespace.com/Chelsea and use the coupon code Chelsea to get 10% off. So thanks.
Thanks, Squarespace, and thanks, everybody.
Maybe next week, maybe not.
Okay, stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.
That is all.
That is all. Wow, those were truly